Hi there, folks, and we're reintroducing the videos here on the direct line on the odd occasion. Obviously, we do have subscription services in place, and we do have people that are already subscribed. So I won't be showing you any numbers, but hopefully you'll be able to take something out of today's broadcast in terms of what we like at Turffontein. It's racing on the inside track at Turffontein on this Thursday, the 2nd of November. And we have our selections here, mainly mine, I'll be honest, although the others have filtered through, and these are certainly from a personal perspective for today. And whilst there has been a bit of rain in and around Johannesburg in the last 7 days, a total of 35 to 40 millimeters has fallen here. Everything looks rosy for a good afternoon of racing. The weather is pretty good here in Johannesburg, and there are good to soft conditions prevailing at the moment, but those could change to good come later in the afternoon. I am commentating on the racing later on today, but I just wanted to bring you up to speed with what we have got as the direct line coming up for this weekend. Here's a little bit to share before I go through my selections for today. We're having a special this coming weekend. You are more than welcome to come on board for just 200 Rand. This is the popular direct line weekend special. And we have 4 race meetings over 3 days. It's the big festival down in Gqeberha this weekend. We start on Friday the 3rd, so you've got until tomorrow midday to get on board, and it runs through until Sunday, the big Algoa Cup meeting on Sunday at Fairview. I'll be at both Friday and Sunday's racing for this weekend, and hopefully we'll be able to chat to the connections on Friday about their Sunday meeting and their Sunday runners too. So don't forget, you've got Fairview on Friday and on Sunday, and then on Saturday you've got the double header, both Durbanville and Turffontein race on Saturday. The big meeting obviously being the one at Turffontein, which features the Victory Moon Stakes. Well, how do you get on board and who do you contact in order to get on board? Let me show you those details very quickly. We do have an office administrator right now in place, and her name is Bella. So if you are wanting to contact us at the direct line, you can simply, if you don't want to speak to anyone, just use email or just use the WhatsApp. But here are the details. There we have it. Use the direct line sa@gmail.com email address, or contact Bella, our office administrator, on the WhatsApp number 079 390 5747. If you're from outside of South Africa, we do have PayPal, we do have Western Union in place, so you are able to come from outside the country and contact us and let us tip through to you. Just for the WhatsApp number, just add +27 and drop the 0. And those are our banking details if you want to join us. We have changed our banking details in the last few weeks. It is still with First National Bank, but it's a different check account and a different branch code. And then use your name and mobile number as your reference. But Bella will be able to talk you through all of that. Right, let's get on to the business at hand with regard to today at Turffontein. Let me just get my race card here. And at the same time, I'm going to hopefully bring up some betting for the races that we go through. Let's go to the first of 8 races today, where number 4, Crystal Maiden, is a scratching. And I'll bring up the betting once I can get that on board. Very quickly, in the first race of the day, I thought that number 9 was the horse to beat over here. I liked its last run, a horse called Springer. She's a daughter of Vercingetorix. She is well related. The question mark I have was the mile, the 1600-meter trip. I think being by Vercingetorix that she'll get the mile. So I believe that she is the horse to beat, Springer, number 9 for the Roy Magnus stable. I respect number 3, Courageous, and also number 2, Heart Peaks. I don't think Heart Peaks was at her best last time out, where she ran behind Courageous. So there could be a reversal of that form today between those two. So I pretty much basically couple those 2 horses, Heart Peaks and Courageous, in the same camp. And then after that, anything is possible. So I've limited it to those horses at 9, 2, and 3. Let's move on to the second race of the day. And just having a look here, there are 2 scratchings, number 6, Heirloom, and number 7, Beemanesque, with number 5, Contact, having blinkers. Well, this is, whilst there's only 6 runners left in the race, it looks particularly tough, I'll be honest. I struggled a little bit with the running of the second race, and I've eventually got on to number 3, Pure Predator, who is returning from a gelding. I'd like to take a little bit of credit, actually, for the ride on number 3, Pure Predator, being secured by Piers Stradham for Lawrence Werners. Why? You might ask. Well, because Piers Stradham wasn't riding for Lawrence Werners for a long time. I had a nice chat to Mr. Werners before he went to the World Cup final in France, and said to him, please start giving Piers Stradham a few rides, because he is in the twilight years of his career, and give him a few bones. And he's given him Pure Predator as the first of these this week, and I'm hoping that he produces on that. So I do like Pure Predator. It's first run back from a gelding. I think that's got a chance. I think Ziasha, number 4, has got a chance. He has the betting, by the way. And I thought that those were the principal two, but I'm wary of the race because Pontek's now wearing blinkers. That's a blinker update. And then Windwater, Gavin Larena, who is the first choice rider for Lawrence Werners, gets the ride on Windwater. So, and then there's Swing Upon a Star as well, who has been rested for 9 months. So I'll be very wary there in the bipot. Maybe the PA you can get away with 3 and 4. In the bipot, maybe just put in an extra horse or so there. On we move to the third race, which opens up the pick 6, and race number 3, scratched a 6, Daring Act, and 10 In the Ether, which I quite like the latter. No blinkers for number 8, Here Comes the Rain. Blinkers go on number 9, Law of Success. Well, this is again a particularly tough. I opted after In the Ether was scratched to go for the fillies down at the bottom. I like 9, Law of Success. I think that's a runner. I like 11, Beaded Gown. I think that's got a chance. Both bottom of the weights. Beaded Gown carrying no weight whatsoever at 52. Law of Success, they fitted with a set of blinkers. Maybe better over 1,200 meters, but certainly has got a chance in my eyes. I think that the 3-year-olds, Chocolate Bomb and Kinchin Shah, maybe carrying a little bit too much pudding for my liking. They've got to shed quite a bit. There She Goes is interesting as well at 10-1, because Piers Stradham gets on that from a 1 draw and loves this course. So I thought that had a chance too. I'm fancying the fillies here in the opening leg of the pick 6. Let's go on to race 4, which is a middle stakes. It is the opening leg of the first jackpot, and it is over 1,200 meters. I'm just having a look at the changes in race 4. There are no scratchings, but a pressure halter goes on number 3, Midnight Gem, and number 5, Samuel Salt. The blinker pacifiers are off, and it races with Alamites in front and is unshod behind. Whilst there's been a bit of money, as we can see, up for Silver Tudor, he wasn't my first choice. In fact, I liked others other than him. I thought Cosmic Star from the Johan Janssen van Vuren stable, who had a sterling day on the weekend, last weekend with a charity mile day. What a wonderful day Johan had. I'm going in with his horse here, Cosmic Star, and Gavin Larena at 33 to 10, 7-2. You can get a bit about that Cosmic Star. I think Ampersand down at the bottom of the weights, carrying only 52, is a runner, but Cosmic Star would clearly be my first choice. I'd thrown Goliath Heron, number 7, at a big price. Clinton Binder's runner with young Sasibo on board. I thought, even though it's returning from a 4-month break, that stable's hot to trot is Clint Binder, and I prefer that ahead of their stable companion Samuel Salt, so I'll put that into my perms. And then watch out for Argo Alley, who has also come back from a rest, gets the blinkers and drops down in trip at a big price too, in race number 4. On we go to race 5, the opening leg of Jackpot 2. It's a fillies and mares 76 handicap, and it's run over 2,000 meters. In race number 5, number 1, Midnight Crystal will sport the blinkers, as the betting has updated here. Horrible race. There's many in with chances over here. It's too many to note. I'll just pick out 1 or 2 for you. I think 7 Universal Love is interesting at 4-1, 9-2, because it's a jockey. Strike goes from apprentice to a rider. Now number 7, Universal Love. I give that a chance. I give number 10, Rosie Lemon, at 14-1 or 12.5-1, 14-1 a chance. Down at the bottom of the weights, carrying only 52. I thought Kind Judy is better off today than she has recently been. I thought she's got a hope. Ideal Futures in good form, number 5. Quite a few come into the calculations here, and I would go pretty wide. Even a horse like 4 Elemental Force at 8-1. Why? Because her mother, Forsythia, is a half sister to Cherry on the Top, who won the Triple Tiara and comes from the family of Summer Pudding. So I don't think that the trip is a problem for Elemental Force, even though it's stepping up from 7 furlongs to 10 furlongs now. I think Elemental Force has a chance too. Right, that's race 5. Let's move on to the 6th race of the day. Scratch share number 5, Silver Sanctuary. It's an important scratching because had that have run, it probably would have ended up being my first choice, but it's not running. And for that reason, I'm going for Lucky Hudolakis' horse here in this race, number 2, Rarotonga Rose. Just waiting for the betting to update. I think it's a fair price, the daughter of Flower Alley. Even though she's drawn a little bit deep, she comes into 8 with the scratching of number 5, Silver Sanctuary, but I think she's a runner here. Quiet Rebellion, I've got respect for number 7, Quiet Rebellion. I also think that number 4, Ballroom Bliss on best form would have a bit of a chance. And then after that, the likes of 6, Intoxicating, and number 8, Damo Star all come into the race with some form of chance. So this race at 3:30 this afternoon is not the easiest. But my first choice I've settled on is number 2, Rarotonga Rose. Right, that betting is not updating, I see, but hopefully it will come through shortly as we move on to race 7, which is run at 4:05. There's the betting with Rarotonga Rose at 8-1, my top choice, giving chances, as I said, to Quiet Rebellion and a few others there in race 6. On to the 7th, which is the penultimate race at 4:05. No scratchings here. Number 5, Gimme a Light, no blinkers, and no blinkers for number 9, Light of Day. What do I fancy here? Well, I fancy quite strongly the chances of number 6, Good Queen Bess. Not drawn well last time out. Gets Kamalo from a good draw on today, ran against a strong field, and I think ran well above its rating of 89. I think possibly in the 90s or even latter 90s. So I'm tipping Good Queen Bess quite strongly to win here. From number 3, Celtic Rumours, who is coming back from a 4-month break. I give number 8, I Am Regal, a sneak as well. So I'm limiting it to those 3, but my clear first choice is Good Queen Bess. On to the last race of the day at 20-5. Race number 8, you can scratch number 3, Primrose Path. Blinkers go on number 2, Trentino, and no blinker pacifiers for number 12, Rock On Captain the Big Outsider. Here, I'm in the 3-year-olds camp, actually. I like both Sunshine Day, number 4, who's at 4-1 or 7-2, and number 7, Rose Tinted, who's at 9-2 or 5-1. I think those 2 for me are the top of my pile. I'm going in with the 3-year-old Sunshine Day and Rose Tinted. After that, Trentino, I think with the blinkers on today, and Apprentice Trent may use 4 kilos, brings it into the race, even though it's often slow away. After that, I like the outsider at 25-1, Dancing Arabian to run into the money, number 10. And I also fancy a bit of Peyton's Tears, who struggles to get on terms with them in the latter stages. And I wouldn't be taking 7-2 or 4-1 Peyton's Tears by any stretch of the imagination. Hasn't won a race in, let's just check up on the figure there. Hasn't won a race in 924 days, and I would not be using my money, or anyone else's money for that matter, to back it at 7-2 and 4-1. It can win without my money on Peyton's Tears. So that's our look at today's racing. From time to time, we'll be bringing you these videos back. I know they were very popular with our predecessor, Clocking the Gallop, but we hope to reintroduce these from time to time, and do stay tuned. Subscribe to us. Don't forget to click the subscription button, put on your details, join us, and don't forget that weekend special starting tomorrow. Entries and all subscriptions to be paid by midday tomorrow. Thanks for joining me, Nico Kritsiotis, on the direct line. All the best for today's racing at Turffontein.